I find a lot of people take years, decades, even their entire life and never take the first step to read the book, go to the free thing, have the conversations.
I would say that most entrepreneurs are actually missing the fact that your key to millions is focusing on the mission.
I'm going to invest in 50 grand just in this podcast this year, just to like make it proper.
Crying on the floor in fetal position, thinking I'm a piece of shit, zero self-worth. If I was to tell you that you have to raise your vibration and upgrade your programming system and take action, otherwise I will kill your child or I'll kill your mum, you would do it for them. But how about you do it for fucking you? I read a little thing in the book and it said, if you don't know what you want, ask the universe.
I think I'll be Hormozy for a week and then like hustle, grind, fuck your feelings, follow the plan. And then some days it's like, but nothing matters anyway.
Dare to become the best version of yourself, because on your last day on earth, the person you became will meet the person you could have become.
Welcome back to the Inspired Life podcast with our new season here with insane guests that are going to blow your mind. And I couldn't picture a better guest to kick us off for our new season. Alex Tripod is a manifestation and new earth business mentor devoted to raising the vibration of humanity by helping people quantum shift their reality from the inside out. She blends science, quantum physics, spirituality, and practical business tools to support freedom, abundance, and full self-expression as the new normal. Having worked with thousands globally and led sold-out tours across Australia, Alex teaches the exact frameworks that radically transformed her life and her legacy. How does that feel listening back to that?
It's like, I'm like, who are you talking about?
Do you receive it? Sometimes when I'm a guest, I'm like, oh, that feels...
I feel, if I'm being honest, a little bit disassociated from it. It's almost like a character.
Okay.
Like that's my character I'm playing in this lifetime.
Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm feeling... nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah.
Is it a good nervous or a bad nervous?
Don't know. Let's just roll with it.
Let's just see what comes
some
out.
sensations happening in my body.
We can breathe into it.
Yeah.
Well, as we were talking just before we went, actually, I'll let you answer this question before I answer. What would someone need to know listening to this podcast? What are the core experiences or life events that you went through in your life that someone would have to know to understand who Alex Tripod is?
Wow. Probably the two biggest ones I'd say is most people would assume that I've always just like courage comes naturally to me. She's just courageous. It's so easy for her to take action. You wouldn't understand. But the reality is I was dead asleep, quote unquote, in the matrix, meaning like I was, living my life, living paycheck to paycheck, broke as fuck, snorting all the fucking drugs every weekend just to escape reality. And yeah, this is why I believe so much that given the right tools, given the right accountability, and when you understand the science behind manifestation, anyone can transform their life. And I think it's so easy to look at me and the action I take and who I am, and no one would even picture what a version of Alex Tripod that looks like that doesn't have any self-belief. And my courage was built. Yeah, so that's the first thing. The second thing I'd say is I've probably downplayed this for so long, but being gay in a Greek family was one of the things that I think built my resilience to fight for my self-expression and what was right for me. And it took 7 years of battling with my sexuality. I even tried to turn myself straight, which is probably why you see me sometimes be so loud and proud about who I am, because I've released so much shame and I almost call it my superpower now. Like, I joke around that everyone's got a little bit of GFA in them, gay for Alex. Straight girls love me. And it's just because I fucking own it so much. And it's just like, find your weird, find your shame and then own it and then let it be part of your personal brand.
What was one of the earlier moments you remember where you actually stepped into that and stepped into courage?
For me, it was like most people have like a long period of like their Saturn's return or a spiritual awakening. It's like it was ages. Yeah. Mine was like heartbreak, crying on the floor in fetal position, thinking I'm a piece of shit, zero self-worth, and the next day literally waking up and being like, what's the point in life? And then being handed a book from my friend, The Law of Attraction, The Essential Collection.
Interesting.
And reading that every single day. And I'd say within 2 weeks, I had invested just under $40,000 in coaching qualifications, a mastermind, and meditation, went to the bank and got out a 20K loan to pay for all of these things and quit my job without one paying client.
Wow.
So that was probably my first act of courage. And
So you took things slow.
like I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was like a do or die moment for me. And that's why I also believe sometimes having that rock bottom moments can be such a pivotal catalyst for our growth. And I can teach this stuff and I can help people want to become a better version of themselves. But most people just don't actually create radical, massive change unless something shit happens.
If you're okay zooming in with that, something I've been binging your content for the last couple of weeks, and something I've noticed with you.
Are you a bit GFA yet? Or?
Yeah. This is the warm up. This is our first date to get there because we've met each other before, but we haven't actually like conversed deeply. So give me 40 minutes
Okay,
and we'll come back to that. Something I've seen with your content, it's a lot around like messy action. Like don't wait for perfection, just take that messy action. If you're okay zooming into that one, because I was expecting like I read one book and then I watched a YouTube video and that's my journey. Then I went to a free event and then I paid $20 and I paid $100.
Yeah.
You went like 40 grand.
Yeah. Well, I did go to a free event, but in that free event, I signed up for a 20K thing. Wow. And then the next day I then signed up with Ryan Madgers at Winning International, another 20K thing. Yeah. And then I went to meditation. And meditation, I reckon, was the thing that actually transformed everything for me as well.
What was that moment of you deciding that I'm going to take the first step? Because I find a lot of people take years, decades, even their entire life and never take the first step to read the book, go to the free thing, have the conversation, say yes, say no, start the whatever. What was that exact moment? I would like to know what was going on in your head. What was like the moment of I'm saying yes to me, I'm stepping into courage. What was that first moment?
Yeah, I think if I'm being really honest, I loathed myself so much and I realized that I hated myself at the age of 31 and felt like I had no purpose and I just wasn't willing to live another day of my life feeling like that. And I remember creating a calendar. It was a 30-day calendar on my thing while I was still in a 9-to-5 job. And it said on the heading, if you do not do this, you will go back to your sad life, bitch. Right. And it was the first time that I implemented like a disciplined morning routine and it transformed everything. So it was just a decision. It sounds really weird, but it was like in that rock bottom, I made a decision and like I have a theory like, I don't know if this is right or not. I heard it somewhere before. Decision comes from the word incision, meaning to cut off from your old identity. I literally feel like that's what happened. I just cut off, I made a decision, and then I did the routines and rituals to create the new identity, to believe that I actually could be this person, this new version of me.
What would you say to someone they know there's a decision that they want to make that needs to be made, but they're like pussyfooting around, they're scared of it, they're making excuses. What would you say to them?
Well, it sounds so corny, but their reason is just not big enough yet. Because if they're like, oh, I want to lose weight, oh, I want to create financial freedom. Like, most entrepreneurs that I know, not that I know, but like I would say that most entrepreneurs are actually missing the fact that your key to millions is focusing on the mission. I always focus on the mission. And I was like, who do I need to be to raise the vibration of humanity? What action do I need to take? And that's why I did fucking crazy actions, because I made the fear of not becoming my best version way bigger than the fear of the action step I needed to take it in that now moment. And that's what most people aren't doing. They're like, I fear this action step. Well, yeah, you know what you should fear? Fucking not being proud of who you became in this lifetime. That's what you should fear.
Oh, I was going to say this quote for later, but you just triggered it to me. I'm going to have to go for it. So
on your last day on earth?
Yes, you got it. On your last day on earth, the person you became will meet the person you could have became.
It means that there's going to be a moment when, whether you're on your deathbed or whatever, and on your last day on earth, the person that you became will meet the person that you could have become, your potential. Are you going to be proud of yourself in that moment, being like, fuck yeah, I reached my potential. I'm proud of the legacy I left. And I don't mean like wealth accumulation and money and stuff and things. I mean like, who did I become? What lives did I touch? Have I written books, I've done things to leave a legacy? Have I actually left humanity better? And I don't know, for me, that just creates I'm Aries, but that just creates so much of fire up my ass that I'm like, how can that not motivate you to become the best version of yourself?
Are you proud of yourself?
Fuck yeah.
Say we had deathbed Alex right now.
Right.
What would she say to you?
It's funny because I'm proud of myself, but I also know I'm scratching 10% of who I can become. It's like insane, the impact that I know I will make. It makes me emotional. And sometimes it's overwhelming because it's like, why me? Like, why little old me? Why was I chosen? Like to the point where I've had many times it's like overwhelming, like anxiety, like surely this can't be my mission. Surely it's just a knowing that I'm going to reach millions. It's just a knowing that I'm going to have big stages and run my own UPW style. Like it sounds crazy because like I don't want to be the next Tony Robbins, but because I want to be the one and only Alex Tripod. Yeah. But that's how big my mission will be in my own unique way, more new earth, if that makes sense. So I'm proud of myself. And there would be a part of me that would find peace if I died today because I have created legacy. But I also would be like, that makes no sense because I've just gotten started. And sometimes I get scared. I'm like, how am I 40? I feel like I'm behind sometimes. Like I'm so proud of myself, but I'm like, why the fuck did I wake up at 31? Like, why didn't I start personal development at 21? But then I'm like, soul contracts, divine timing. Like, yeah, like two of my besties, Nat and Athena, they are creating a huge level of success and they're 30, 31. I'm like, you've got 10 years of me, fucking assholes, you know? And I go, oh.
We love you girls, by the way.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that kind of feels like, yeah, it's weird. Most women have this TikTok around babies or like getting pregnant. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I actually don't know if I'm gonna have a baby. My mission is my baby. Yeah.
When did you find your mission? Or when did your mission find you?
31 years old. I read a little thing in the book that I was telling you about, and it said, if you don't know what you want, ask the universe. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty simple. So I was doing morning runs every morning, and I was running, and I was screaming out to the universe, like 5:30 in the morning, like cyclists beside me, thinking I'm crazy. And I'm screaming, I'm like, universe, I want to know what I want. Universe, do you hear me? I want to know what I want. Show me. I'm ready. And then literally the synchronicities of the 2-3 days that came after that was just like, boom, the Courage to Be You, coaching institution, transcendental meditation. It was insane. So I'd say within that 2-week period of quitting my job, taking a loan, investing in myself, I was like, I'm here to raise the vibration of humanity.
I heard you describe this on your YouTube. You're trying to articulate what a download's like. And it's like that, it's that analogy. It's like the universe will give you a feather. If you don't listen, it's a rock. If you don't listen, it's a bus, etc. How would you articulate listening to a download or receiving it, but then actioning it? Because something I'm fucking blown away by you is your ability to listen and then just like go balls to the wall, not literally with you, not like go ham on actually actioning that. So how do you go from connecting and listening to that download of courage to this, to this, to this, and just going, I'm in, I'm actioning it?
And that's a great question because I think that's the one code, I call it the execution code.
Cool, tell me.
The time lag between the download or the idea or whatever you want to call it, the download and the execution. Yeah. And the bigger the space is in here, the more your ego will come in and tell you that it's not the right time or maybe late. And it could be as simple as like wanting to go on Facebook and do a fucking rant about something that's super alive and pertinent and then like, oh, maybe not. Yeah. And so like for me, I've kind of realized that I get my most potent downloads when I'm either running with epic music down the beach or I'm at the gym having a workout. When I receive the download, I take an immediate action to lock it in. So for example, Manifest AI, I'm literally just having a workout and everyone receives downloads differently. I see visions and then I hear it. So I'm at the gym and then I was like, boof, and I saw a whole leg sleeve. I was like, oh. And then I saw a photo shoot. And then for some reason, and I was like, so on the plane 2 days later, getting my leg sleeve, right? That's how I execute.
I listened to the story of that.
And then I messaged a girl another coach that I know has an AI. And I was like, hey, babe, I'm ready. Let's do it. Yeah. And she's like, I've been waiting for this moment. So I locked myself in, even though I was going to be like a $20K investment to create it and this and that, yielded a $600,000 launch in
couple weeks.
Yeah, couple of weeks. So it's like, for me, I've now conditioned myself. It's not even about, it's going to make me $1 million. It's about like just honoring the download. So I think I've mastered the art of I call this the dream killer zone.
Yeah.
Right? So the less time there is in between, like, yeah. And I call this frequency, it's kind of weird. Like, I believe that there's 5 frequencies of money. So you've got cash, which everyone loves and favors. You've got gift, which most people don't consider money because you can't control it.
Say gifts. Did you say?
Gift. Like someone, like I buy Michelle dinner. That's still money, right? But she can't control it. You've got support, which most people call debt, and most people have debt shame, which is when I'm actually looking at like debt. I think I took out like 7 personal loans in the first 3 years of my business to keep investing in myself. I love debt, fucking more debt. Yeah, baby, give me debt. Because I see it a direct relationship between investing in my growth, right? Then you've got future, which is revenue. It's looking after your future. And then you've got freedom, and freedom is downloads. Freedom is the sauciest, sexiest frequency or extension of money that will make you millions, billions, if you fucking listen to her. But most people aren't listening to freedom. And that's because most people haven't raised their vibration enough to receive the downloads. So they're still stuck in like their ego and chitter chatter, and they can't decipher, is it a download or is that just my fucking chitter chatter?
Can you tell me about law? I was listening to you literally on the way to this podcast today. The difference between the law of The Secret or law of attraction, versus the law of vibration.
Yeah.
Could you just touch on it? And I'd love to learn. So can you explain that to me, please?
It's so interesting because I'm so bored with law of attraction. Yeah. I don't actually think we're attracting anything in our life. I know that's a big, weird statement to be said by a manifestation coach. Yeah. I believe that we are emitting a vibration, and depending on how fast and light our subatomic particles are vibrating internally, we are emitting something called a personal energetic frequency, and that's what we're becoming a vibrational match to whatever's on that frequency. So it's kind of like one theory is assuming that you're like a magnet and you're attracting things to you, but in fact, the hologram doesn't exist outside of you. It's hard to explain. I'm getting a little bit like—
This is awesome. Keep going.
It's like we're assuming that there's things outside of us, but without our observation of anything outside of us, like you are the observer. Yeah. So if I'm not observing it, nothing exists. Yeah. This is all a hologram, and that can be proven by like if we break down an atom, which is made up of more than 99% empty space. So what is matter? And there's like this fact that they say if you were to put 7.8 billion people that exist on planet Earth right now into what we consider solid, matter, dense, right? We would all fit into one sugar cube. So what the fuck is real? It's mostly empty space. So we're not actually attracting anything. We're becoming a vibrational match for it.
And how do we do that? Are you David Hawkins' fan?
Kind of.
He's my only—
the consciousness funnel.
That's the only thing I've got that visual in my head. That's
really fun fact about that one. When I first started studying him at the start of my journey, was most of humanity live below 207 hertz, which is below courage, which makes sense, right? Because most people aren't living their dream life because they're always vibrating, teetering on, maybe I'll step into my courage. And so courage is the gateway to manifestation heaven. But most people are trying to bypass it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how does one raise one's vibration?
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways, but if we were to sort of put it in a nutshell, the best way that I can share after 10 years of obsession of this work is there are multiple versions of you in the quantum right now. There's a version of you that's a millionaire. There's a version of you that's married. There's a version of you that's broke. There's like multiple versions. And so it's our job to tap into that person energetically, meaning who do they identify as? Because the millionaire or billionaire version of you thinks differently, believes differently, feels differently, does different habits as a result of that. So whenever I look at having a quantum shift in my life, I always tap into that version of Alex, and then I will create a vibe booster to create heartburn coherence and start embedding the beliefs to feel like I'm shifting into her skin suit energetically. I actually did a process on the way here today because I'm currently coding myself to hold $1 million a month. So that's taking a lot of nervous system work.
I was going to ask, how's your nervous system with that?
Yeah. I mean,
just quickly, if you're enjoying this conversation, if you could take 2 seconds to leave a comment, like the video and subscribe, it honestly means so much. The bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests get, and you are very much a part of our journey to grow this channel. Thank you.
I feel like when we're on the verge of manifesting something that we used to feel like it's a big deal, but it's not anymore, that's how we know we're close. Wow. So $1 million a month for me used to be like wild. And now I'm like, it feels normal. Just like manifesting Michelle, that I know is the love of my life, the woman I'm going to marry. It finally felt normal to feel worthy of this kind of love. And before that, I don't actually think I felt normal. I did the same thing that I did for love that I do for money. Everything I manifest is the same process. It's tapping into the version of me who already has that and feeling like the version of me that has that desire, where most people think they're thinking about their goals, but they're actually thinking about the absence of it. I want to make more money.
Say that again. Say that again. Yeah. That was juicy.
Most people think that they're manifesting their goals, but they're actually focusing on the absence of their desire instead of the presence of it.
And so they're coming from lack as well.
They're coming for lack. Yeah, and they're identifying as a person who doesn't have it, and I have to work hard through this linear construct of time to get it.
So how do you quantum shift that? Because that's a big part of your message, right? How do we not come from a place of lack? We are already source oneness, that future identity. How do we shift those two worlds?
The simple answer is we have to raise our vibration to collapse time. So the highest vibrational beings collapse time. I call it like, and I go into the science behind this, which I love.
I love science, so please science away.
So if we look at the David Hawkins funnel, and you've got all the different levels of the frequency, like shame, guilt, fear, apathy, and it goes up to love, and then joy, and like, so when we look at shame, it's 20 hertz, which is one of the lowest vibrations someone could feel, right? Which is why we bypass it and trick ourselves to not feel it. So basically a hertz is a cycle per second. And a cycle per second, all that means is that it's from when the trough reaches its peak. So that like peak trough, that's one cycle. So if we were to look at the two factors that make up how quickly someone can manifest in our 3D duality reality, it is frequency and time, right? And so basically if you were to look at a muggle, I said it. I said what I said. I'll say what I said.
I'm a big fan.
Okay.
So I love it.
The muggles, they're vibrating here. This is what a flat vibration looks like. It's depression. It's what depression looks like. So look at the peak, trough. So much time between that 1 hertz. When we raise our vibration, we hold more light. We have more access to information. Our cells hold more light. Our hertz become this, which is why a baby naturally emits so much joy, because before we fuck them up and condition them, they're at a higher state of consciousness than us. Yeah. So how do we how do we collapse time? And I guess the way I want to finish that is the amount of time it takes you to manifest your desires. Think of like, I'm just going to say, let's say I'm the high vibrational person. I get the download and I execute. That time between the peak and the trough versus the time between a muggle to, I'm going to write a book. Oh yeah? Fucking 2 years later, you've done fucking nothing. Meanwhile, I've done it in 3 months.
Yeah, you're so good. I just love you. I'm quite blunt from time to time, and you're just like such a vibe. I love it.
You got to cut through the shit on social media, right?
You got to, and you're just speaking your truth though. I've got 2 angles on this. I want to give you a conflicting angle on that, but then also I've got like a deeper angle on it. So I love listening to obviously successful people, and Jeff Bezos has it's like a 2-way door analogy, if you've heard of it. So when making decisions in business and life, some doors are one-way doors, as in you go through it, it's very hard to come back. So say you start this huge project, you invest millions into it, to undo that decision is a lot of effort, if not impossible, versus 2-way doors, it's like you did it, it's all good, come back, try it again.
Right.
So it's for one-way doors, you spend more time, energy, thinking, processing, due diligence to make sure it makes sense to invest the time, energy, resources into that. Versus 2-way doors, it's like just do it, and if you fuck it up, just come back and redo it or change the thing. Right. How do you balance that? Because you've got like that side, you're collapsing time, you're taking action versus like for me and George as an example, like, are we ready to have kids? because
Right.
you can't really undo that door.
Right.
that's a
Thanks
one.
for giving me an example.
That's a
Okay, that
one-way
makes
door.
sense.
Or it's like, for me, this podcast. So I've decided this year, 2026, I haven't done guests on my podcast for 18 months. You're the first one to come on, by the way.
Amazing.
Very
Thank
grateful. And it's like, I'm investing 50 grand just in this podcast this year, just to like make it proper. And I guess it's not that much of a one-way door, but the resources I'm putting into it would make it more of one. How do you balance that between fast versus, hey, this is a bigger decision. Let's actually take a bit of time. Let's talk to the right people. Let's look at it tomorrow when I've thought about it a bit more. How do you balance that? Because that's kind of the contrast to what you're saying.
So when you say, what's it, the two-door decision?
So a one-way door is it's hard to come back from it or very, if not impossible to come back from it. Two-way door, you can easily undo it.
Cool. This is probably not going to answer the question, but
That's okay.
I'm just going to, from my level of understanding, my one-way door is my mission. But so it's like, I will do this till the day I die. I'm married to my mission. But most people don't have that, which is why it's like, I've got to change my niche and my purpose. And, and then my two-way door is me detaching from the micro results and looking at the macro results. So for example, if I did execute on Manifest AI, or if I made a movie, it cost me over $100,000. It took me a year to make, but I wasn't attached to it needing to make me money, yet it made me almost $3 million last year. So it's like the way I see decisions is like, oh, run that masterclass, do that thing, oh, like I just paid $40K for a mentor the other day, bang. So it's hard to explain. It's like, because I feel so solid in this one, I expect that there's going to be decisions
that's good.
that
I'm picking
fuck
up
up. Which is probably why I don't want to go down the one-way door of having a child, because that is a big decision, right? And I know as much as I can be like, I've got money, we'll have an in-house babysitter, I'll have a chef, I'll have this, I'll have that. It's going to change my relationship with Michelle, and it is going to change my mission. Now, some people would say, but it's going to amplify your mission. Maybe not. Maybe it'll crumble and fucking destroy our sex life. Maybe it'll crumble and destroy. How badly do I want a baby? How badly do I want my mission? All in, my whole fucking life. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Yeah.
The other,
I find people that are having babies very courageous.
Yeah, we do a quarterly reset, me and my wife, where every quarter, just like a business does a quarterly review. Highly recommend anyone listening to this to do this. Every quarter, we have minimum a weekend away from like the day-to-day stuff. So business, so normally you get Airbnb. We normally smoke a bit of weed, chill out, redo our values, our planning, whatever. And we're in this Airbnb we always go to. It's got like an outdoor bath, and it's so nice. So it's like in nature, it's hot as in the bath. It's really nice. And we discussed baby. It's like, are we ready for this? And I just had shame come up straight away. I just started crying straight away. And I'm like, I'm scared of a baby, and I can like feel it coming up with me now. It's like the uncertainty of my mission. Like, is this going to fuck my business? Is this going to fuck this? And it's like, just came up for me then. But it takes courage. 100% it takes courage. I'd like to talk about identity with you. So
I literally just got a download for you. I'm like,
please reflect.
I wonder, and again, I get it's a different soul, a different frequency. It's out of control, and there is a version of you that you and what's your partner's name? Georgia is happy, thriving. The baby sleeps like clockwork. It's amplified your fucking mission. You've 10x everything. And your job is to, because I know we can't control things, but we can help ourselves energetically.
100%.
So your
100%.
job is to tap into that version where it just is easier than you expect. But it's also good that you're going in with eyes wide open. You know, sometimes expecting the worst, but being prepared is also really helpful.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for the reflection, Marlon. Appreciate it. Two different angles. You said raising your vibration is a journey back home to who you are.
Yep.
Then a model that I use, when a baby is born, all parts of a baby is worthy of love. But then we experience life, challenges, problems, and we learn that some parts of us are not lovable.
Yep.
Those parts we shame ourselves for.
Yep.
How does one truly make that journey back home to who they are?
Yeah. So the way I see it is like, so as you know, imprinting stages between 0 to 7. I think arguably they're changing those numbers, but let's just say for argument's sake. And so it's so interesting because I have a lot of shame around how incredible my childhood was. Like, so fucking incredible. Like, I saw my dad go from a poor TV technician earning $17,000 per annum married my mum and became a multimillionaire. And that was my coding between 0 to 6. Oh. And while he was becoming a multimillionaire, he gave every freaking immigrant walking his dog an opportunity. Like he had the kindest heart. He'd make time for mum. There'd be drives every weekend, holidays with the family. He stayed grounded. And like, I guess the reason I share this is because I didn't realize how rare that was. And what happens is, you know, the imprint that the beliefs were imprinted with around money, around love, around whatever it is, from parents that were doing the best that they could, then our job is unfortunately to release that so we remember who we are. So it's not about adding more, although yes, we want to reprogram our subconscious mind, but this is why I believe meditating every single day, twice a day for the first 3 years of my mission helped me get rid of a lot of shit. It was kind of like filling up a dirty cup of water with Kangen water. Yeah. Or instead, why don't you spill some out first and it'll get clear a lot faster.
Yeah, love it. Great analogy.
I wish more people knew the power of meditation. So when I say journey back home, it's like, the more we raise our vibration, the more we remember who we really are, which is fragments of God, like experiencing ourselves through ourselves and becoming more connected to all of it, which is scary, right? Because it's like, it's a loss of identity, because the more we raise our vibration, the more we lose connection to, I am this character, I am this person. I'm starting to tap into new manifestation tools now, which is a bit scary. And I always say identity creates reality. Identity creates the hologram, right? But now I'm like, okay, but when is it going to become detrimental that I'm identified as Alex Tripod? Because actually, what if I'm just the awareness operating Alex Tripod? And that's when we start tapping into God consciousness. But then that feels scary, because who am I if I'm not Alex Tripod? And they're the moments that I would feel in meditation in the really early days. It was like a loss of identity and I'd become everything and nothing. But they were like bliss body, because it was like I went back to the quantum. I became everything and nothing for like 10 seconds. And it was calling back more soul memory. Yeah.
Are you a Joe Dispenza fan?
A little bit. I find this stuff a bit monotone and boring sometimes, but I fucking love the way he teaches science, yes.
How would you teach the God consciousness or the universal consciousness? Because that's, I've got my understanding of it. I'm quite a Dispenza fan from his books.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to know how you would teach that. So like for someone who's listening, like, what the fuck did you just say? What's God consciousness? How do I disconnect from my human meat suit identity and reconnect to the divine consciousness from which we come from and which we're all a part of, but we're got the ego that disconnects us from it. Yeah. How do you explain that?
I think the best way that I can describe it is, and I want to like dumb down these very multidimensional concepts I'm going to talk about. Yeah. So please. I talk about grids and codes, and most people will be like, what the fuck is that? So woo-woo. So whether we like to think of it or not, like think of a grid like a box, and this is the paradigm that we operate in. So the box that Alex was playing in 10 years ago in a 9-to-5 job had different rules that the box that I'm playing in right now. And our job in life is to expand our consciousness to operate in better boxes, right? Better grids. So when you have a breakthrough, it's not like the money came first or the thing happened first and then you get the breakthrough. You have this breakthrough, right? And then what happens in a breakthrough, the reason that it can feel like a bliss body moment and so expansive is because you've just expanded your box, and all of a sudden your grid, it feels like there's more room to move in. Yeah. So when I think of like a 3D grid, it's like, it's like trapped in the matrix. Yeah. It's like rules, time for money. I don't believe in myself. And then when and I'll go into this in a second. So if the more you bust your grid, I call it the process of busting grids, right? The more you tap into God consciousness. So it's like 3D. Now I'm understanding more who I really am. And you get to a point where there is no more box. So it's like box, 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 box. And the way we do that And the thing is, I talk about this. I'm like, will I reach God consciousness level in this lifetime? I don't fucking know. Like, I'm aiming to live permanently in the fifth dimension. Yeah. Sometimes I say shit. I'm like, I'm just going to create it. I'm not crazy to know I'm going to create the new earth, right? But I'm like, I also know that people are like, well, how do I do this? Okay, well, it's the one thing that most people aren't doing. The two top ways to bust a grid is number one, emotionally conditioning yourself to the version that lives in the bigger grid. So identity work. Yep. And which is subconscious saturation, nervous system work, heart brain coherence, all that kind of stuff. And the second way is what most people don't do. I'm meditating. I'm saying my affirmations. Yeah, babe. But what courageous, scary action are you doing? So if we're not taking massive, courageous, aligned action, then we're not going to bust through the grid. And when we bust through the grids, new codes activate. So for example, I was shit scared to run my first event. Did it anyway. What happened? I'm on stage. I'm backstage about to shit my fucking pants. 3 months into my mission, and I hire an event that holds 500 people. That's how delusional I was. I filled it out with 88 people. Pretty great for 3 months into my mission. But I have never felt anxiety like that before in my life, right? I took the action. And then what happened? Speaker codes were activated. Courage codes were activated. But most people think, I've got to feel safe first and then I'm going to do it, which is why I used to poo-poo nervous system work a little bit. I've got this love-hate relationship with it because I'm like, yes, it's about your nervous system feeling safe. And also you've got to stretch your nervous system capacity by taking that scary action. And sometimes you're never going to feel ready because there's no such thing as feeling ready.
How do you balance I just wrote it down then, is it action first the goal is to essentially, I like the straitjacket analogy. It's like we're born with a straitjacket. Well, actually, we are born without the straitjacket, and then life limitations, conditioning puts the straitjacket on us, and then it's constantly undoing our own straitjacket. Right. That's an analogy that works for me.
Love it.
But then you said it's like, okay, we take actions to use your box, which expands the capacity of your identity or your box. But then it's also identity work, which also does the same thing. Yep. Are you more of a fan of action first or identity work first, or both?
Both. So I'd say the old grind hustle mentality is action, grind. And don't get me wrong, I've been going to the gym every day listening to motivational shit lately. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this. I'm like, yes, bro, right? But if you're taking action from an unregulated nervous system, from someone that doesn't believe in themselves, right? Yes, it's good. You'll get, but the problem is your subconscious programming is not on board. So now you're using willpower, determination, and force to try and create your goals. And what's the problem with willpower? It's got an expiration date. So I'm more likely, let's say, to drop 15 kilos like I did last year by getting my subconscious programming on board instead of willpowering my way to do it. Yeah. It's the same with, so it's both. So I would say identity work is really important. And I teach it to my clients this way. In order to create an extraordinary life, you have to take massive risks. Yes or yes, right? So if you were to take risks on the perceived outside world, we need to mitigate that by creating more safety inside. So we do these tools like subconscious thing, meditation, magical script, belief rewiring. We do all these tools to create more internal safety so then I can take more risks on the outside.
This is fucking amazing. I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm excited to do this podcast today. Yeah. You can come back here. Okay. Anyways, controversial question for you. So I teach this at my event. So I say there's a spectrum of humans, and I say not the autistic spectrum. Right. I'm on that, so I can joke about it.
Love it.
You've got the spiritual woo-woo people. These people, they sage, they meditate, they breathe, they ayahuasca, they're present, they're grateful, they're out of the matrix. And these people often are broke as fuck. They haven't achieved anything. Yeah. Then but they're very grateful. On the other side, you've got your hustle porn people. Yeah. Achieve. I put Alex Hormozi on this spectrum. He's like overachieve. Fuck
your feelings.
Fuck your mood, follow the plan, right? And these people often will achieve the external things, but they're unfulfilled, depressed, anxious, burnt out. Don't become so rich, all you have is money. That's kind of that spectrum. Oof, you like that one, hey?
Yeah.
I believe in putting those two worlds together. I see you doing the same thing. I see there's a version of that with what you're doing with your mission. What's your thoughts or take on how do you have both?
I mean, I'm going through that at the moment because I could easily get sucked into $1 million month and this year's going to be eight figure. And I'm like, but what does it all mean if I don't have peace within? What does it all mean if I'm not deeply fulfilled? So it's like remembering the things that made me feel so deeply connected to my mission back 10 years ago. Because it's so easy for us to be like, I don't know about you, but like I was probably like more naturally excited about my mission in the early days. And now it's become so normal that I have to, so how do I balance it?
As you think, I think I'm shit at it. I think I'll be Hormozy for a week and then like hustle, grind, fuck your feelings, follow the plan. It's like trauma is not a thing, even though it's like the biggest thing. Trauma is a thing, but and then some days it's like, but nothing matters anyway. So we're all going to die, and I'm so detached. So I'm just going to like meditate all day, and I'm going to do some manifestation. I'm going to. So I just pendulate. So I don't have a show. I just like I go from one.
But what if it gets to be both? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want to be this disciplined robot all the time. Like, and it's interesting because I had this belief, and I can't believe I'm going to share this because I haven't shared it with my clients even yet.
Please.
I had this belief for 9.5 years of my life that you need to have discipline over your routines and rituals. Otherwise, I'm not worthy of big sales months, right? So there was a worthiness. And even though it allowed me to create massive success and more belief, and I do believe most people are lacking discipline and they do need that, I saw how it was actually detrimental to me. And so then I had this fear of if I'm not doing everything precisely every day and ticking tick boxes, then I'm going to have a launch that flops. And I've done basically, I've started on New Year's again, and I've done a more chill one.
Yeah.
But I did nothing for 2 months, 2 months straight, no meditation. The only thing I did was gym and like audios, which is what most people, I call that the bare minimum. But there was no meditation, no vibe boosters, no magical scripting, no self-concert, no belief rewiring, no column, not all the practices that I usually do that I call my bulletproof reprogramming system that I make every single client do. I didn't do anything for 2 months, and yet I had a $600,000 launch. And I was like, wow. So, and it was interesting because in this process, I was like, Melanie Ann Layer and fucking people that are making $1 million, they're not sitting there being like, oh, I haven't done my thing, I'm not worthy. They've just raised a fucking standard. They just feel worthy. They've just normalized wealth. So it was really interesting to have that experience and that integrating back the tools that I know are good for me in a more chillax way because I feel worthy now without having to be a drill sergeant on myself.
If you're someone who's wanting to grow and take your life to a whole new level, I'd love to be of service. I offer a free 7-day experience of my coaching that you can try absolutely free, and you only stick around if it's a no-brainer. You'll also get a one-on-one call with me. The link is down below. Grab it and back to the conversation. Any lessons out of that 2 months? Because literally killed it. I saw the launch and I stayed tuned for it and watched your updates about it. And I didn't know, obviously, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So any lessons from that?
I don't know. I'm still integrating it. I'm like, can that happen again without me doing it? I haven't integrated the lessons yet. I think that the only thing I will say is how do I communicate this to my students? Because I've got high-level ones in my mastermind that are ready to chill out a bit more and they're ready to be less disciplined. And I've got 5DU students, which a lot of them are at the beginning of their journey and their airplane's not off the tarmac yet. And it's very different me being on autopilot versus them fucking needing to do what it takes to get their identity to a person that believes they can create success.
So many things just came up then. It's like the Chris Williamson talks all about the type A versus type B personality. So type A, I might get these back to front, is the overachiever. And these are the people who are already up there. And it's like their problems is learning to chill the fuck out. But then you've got the type B people who they need Hormozy. They need to shut the fuck up, go take some action, post the thing, set the date, do the thing. And it's like, maybe it's like different times for different seasons, because as much as like I'm like a raving fan of Alex Hormozy minus his views on trauma, it's like that served me at my start of my journey. It was like, use what you've got. Like I was insecure, daddy issues, childhood issues, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy. That's my fuel source. But it's like that works until it doesn't, until it's like because there is nothing external that's going to solve that. That's an internal job, right?
And that's how I see it. I see it as there's an evolution in my identity and how I create success and it's really interesting because I think we're going into, is it something about year one, the new 9-year cycle. And it's interesting because I'm going into my 10th year. So there was 9 years. And like my soul's mission and business from when I woke up is in complete alignment with the universal cycle. And so I'm like,
so perfect for you.
The next decade, 40 to 50, requires a new identity to create a bigger impact. Because if I was doing it the way I was doing, I think I would have burnt myself out almost energetically, thinking I had to do a 2-hour morning routine every single day just to feel worthy. Like, no, that needed upgrading.
What do you do now? What's like day in Alex's life?
Coffee. I'm a coffee drinker.
Coffee gal?
I got slight ADHD, I think, so it actually helps me.
Love it.
Although some guy over, a friend of mine gave me a Dexy on Christmas Day.
What was it like? I've got friends.
I felt like I was on fucking speed. So I'm like, I don't think I have ADHD. Because I was like, okay, I don't need medication. So it's coffee. And then I'll also have my pre-workout. I'll get into my gym clothes before I even think. Like it's not even thinking about it. I'll walk to the gym with like cool music, or I'll do like a vibe booster or do some gratitudes, walk into the gym. Love living Gold Coast. I'm born and bred Melbourne. So like the weather here, I'm still grateful for it. I'm still like, this is where I live now, a holiday destination. Do a like grueling workout with, I'd say like self-concept audios or motivational rants.
What do you listen to? What's kind of your vibe that you listen to?
At the moment, it's kind of like Odessa album, the live, or like, because I see like my next live event and stuff like that, or motivational rants. I'll just literally put motivational speech in YouTube.
I used to binge that when I first started. It was like, when you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, you'll be successful. Like, fuck yeah.
And then I've created my own personal self-concept, which is me tapping into the next level of me. And then like I'm actually at the moment coding myself to be a 5D celebrity. So what I mean by that is I don't like, someone told me like, my coach was like, you're a celebrity. I'm like, no, I'm not. And I realized the connotation to celebrity I hated because I don't love the density of 3D celebrities and the emptiness that a lot of them feel. So I'm like, I don't want to be a celebrity. But she's like, okay, what if you're a 5D icon, multidimensional celebrity? I'm like, that I can get down with. And it's funny because ever since I've been coding myself with that, like I will go pack fair and people will like come out, are you Alex Tripod? Fuck, oh my God, I never thought I'd get to meet you. Like just shit that I'm playing in my head in the quantum is actually happening. It's just quite rewarding.
How does that feel you just can't answer it?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm getting validation of helping someone's life. Like I'm on a random flight to Dubai and the air hostess is like, are you Alex Tripod? You changed my life. You're the reason I got this job. It's really, it makes my day every time. I love it. I think the only thing I don't like if someone wants to like purge their life story on me, like for 10, 15 minutes straight. And I'm like, baby, take a breath. Yeah. This is not the time, you know? So yeah, gym, get home. Usually it would be like, sit down, meditate for 10 minutes, read out something I call the magical script, which is basically just an identity invocation. So like speaking into present tense or like it's already happened, what's unfolding. So at the moment I've got like coding myself, it's almost like a month after how I feel that I've now created my first $1 million month and what doors it has opened for me. And to be honest, if I'm being really honest with you, it's not even about the money. Don't get me wrong. I'm horny for cash. I fucking love money. Yeah. It's about the recognition I will receive as one of the very few Australian coaches that is going to be making $1 million months. And more people will listen, the more money I make. 100%. And I need people to fucking listen because I got a message.
Love it. Yeah. Wow. I think I've touched like 2 of my questions out of like 15.
Amazing. So it means we're in flow, baby.
We're in flow, baby.
We're in flow.
You've like edged me a little bit with it. Codes. Yeah. What are codes? Tell me what codes are.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to break it down in a way that I think codes are. Yeah. So basically, how do I even say this? I want to explain it in a different way. So you know how there's a lot of people that are worried about AI taking over all the jobs. And it's like, I can actually see this because it's like, why do I need a copywriter anymore when chat can spit me out an incredibly high converting landing page if you give it the right prompt? You know, and soon I know with AI Agenta, there'll be like agents that can actually build your landing page and reply to your email and do all these things. And so like people feel very threatened that their skill set is going to be taken over. And so I always say that your frequency is your currency. Your codes are your currency.
I love that.
So in the new earth, right?
That was one of my questions. What's the new earth? So put those together.
Yep. So in the new earth, I believe that our our energy is our currency, our codes are our currency. So for me, this might sound arrogant. I'm not threatened about AI agenda or AI taking over because I'm so embodied in the codes that I'm here to emit to humanity I code all of what I mean by code is like I make sure I'm intentionally placing them into everything I do, my marketing, my masterclasses, my thing. And it's like, even when I'm talking, I have a belief that my words are just a placeholder and codes are transferring and emitting through the words. So it's like, it's just energy. So it's like, you could say that even like my codes and my belief systems. You hang around someone long enough, I hang around Alex Hormozy long enough, I'll probably pick up some of his belief systems, right? So it's like the more, and this is a problem with a lot of coaches in the industry, I'm just going to have a little dig here.
Please, dig away.
Most coaches aren't actually truly embodied in their codes, and then they're flopping in launches and sales and wondering why, because they're so fucking out of integrity and they're sharing faulty codes, right? So like, I'm not saying you have to be a master, but it's like, how many business coaches do we know that are speaking about 100K months and they've got $2,000 in their bank account? Like, stop it. Stop fucking lying. Yeah.
I love that you rant on. I rant on this too.
Yeah.
So it's like the relationship coach who's single and can't maintain a relationship.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck would I listen to you? It's like, you're not embodying.
You don't have what I want.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, I always use myself as the biggest marketing tool because I have the life that most people want. Yeah. So I sell my life because it's an embodiment of what I preach. Why would I pay someone when they haven't created what I want? Doesn't make any sense.
Also, we got that mutual friend Nat. She'd always go copy paste. Is that the codes?
Well, that's her way of doing it. Yeah. I'd say the biggest way to upload someone's codes is I have this belief it's like actually. So at the moment, we are using money as an energetic exchange. And I kind of knew this from like 9 years ago. I didn't use the word codes. I used it like energy. Yeah. And Calvin Coyles, I was at his retreat. He's like, what are our intentions? And I was so full on. He's like, my intention is to, what did I say? I said something like, my intention was basically to upload his energy, right? That's the only reason and what I was basically saying is I want to be in your frequency to upload your codes. So I believe you truly want to upload someone's codes, pay the money, invest and make that transaction and get into their container. Yeah. That's a big part of the process. If you can be friends with them and not pay them, fucking great, right? This is one of the biggest reasons that Natalie was like, I need to open for all of your, I just got to download. I need to be the opening person for your world tour. Yeah. Clever little girl, isn't she? I'm paying for her flights. I'm paying for her accommodation. She's around. We became besties. We're sleeping in the same bed. We just became two peas in a pod. You don't think codes transferred? 100%. She uploaded my time freedom code. She uploaded my fucking millionaire codes. Of course, yes, she was working with other people and she's courageous action. Yeah. But that was part of her intention and she openly says that. Yeah.
What codes singular or multiple have shifted you the most?
100% courage codes. And I think I downplay it a lot because for me, courage comes so naturally. And usually I have this a process called Unlock Your Soul Codes. Typically, and I'll just give you a little nutshell. It's
please.
Like on a T ledger, on one side you'll put what confuses me about people or humanity or what pisses me off about people. Yeah. And you're like, fucking people that don't take action, victims, blah, blah, blah. And then what's the opposite of this? Like open people, courageous people. So what's the opposite of it is usually you're coding and you're confused or you judge others or you're fucking irritated by people because that's what comes naturally to you. Yeah. So I didn't realize I actually had courage codes, but that's a big reason that most people work with me. Yeah. And then I'd say the second one would be execution codes, which ties into courage. And then visionary codes. I have a vision for this world that is so diluted. Like, I just know I'm one of the new earth leaders and I'm here to create massive, massive change. I don't fully know exactly what it feels like and looks like yet, but I know but it's done. It's not, I'm so certain in it that humanity is going to, like, we have come down here on planet Earth because it's such a special, special time. And what we're going to see over the next 20, 50 years, I'm getting goosebumps as I say this, it's going to be revolutionary. And also there's going to be a splitting of people that decide to stay stuck in fear and people that decide to shift. And our vibration will determine which earth we vibrate in. Yeah.
Wow. We're catching up 12 months from now, having a coffee. What does a great year in 2026 look like to you?
I'm engaged to my beautiful woman, Michelle.
Love you,
Michelle.
Michelle.
It was the most dope fucking proposal ever.
Love.
She's got a nice big 5-carat ring on her
Love
finger. I love that I put love first. I was going to put money first, but love.
Love it.
I had an $8 million year with 3 of those 3 months being $1 million cash months.
Love.
I ran 2 TFX events and they were fucking mind-blowing, and I know this is the birth of what I meant to do. And I'm going to say probably in 2 years, probably not in a year, but like a year it'll start to happen. I'm probably going to collapse any programs that is me life coaching. It just won't exist anymore.
Wow.
To work with me, it'll be one of my AIs or it'll be in the room with me.
Wow.
I don't, when I'm on the call, I love coaching my clients, but I don't like seeing anything in my schedule. And I can't believe I just admitted that out loud. I do 4 hours of deliverables a month and I don't like having anything in my schedule.
Okay.
I'm like, wow.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Which is confusing, right? Because every time I come off the coaching wall, I'm like, I love these. I love my clients. I love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you had 60 seconds left on this planet, what would your message be to the world?
Oh, my God. No pressure.
No pressure.
My message would be that you are more powerful than you could even comprehend right now. And we love to overcomplicate life. And the most important thing that you can do in this lifetime is raise your vibration and treat your frequency like your oxygen, like your life depends on it, because it actually does. And if I was to tell you that you have to raise your vibration and upgrade your programming system and take action, otherwise I will kill your child or I'll kill your mum, you would do it for them. But how about you do it for fucking you, right? Do it for you. Dare to become the best version of yourself, because on your last day on earth, the person you became will meet the person you could have become. And I want you to be fucking proud of that moment that you actually reached your potential.
Alex Tripod, what a way to kick off the new season. It's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. I've learnt a ton. Didn't get through any of my questions or 2 of them. How can people work with you? If they want to dive into the Alex Tripod world universe?
Many ways, but I've got a big, I don't know if this is getting released, but I've got a big Manifest AI launch coming up. It's basically $7 for 7 days of my most, like, it's all about identity and money energetics. So there's that. I'd say the other way would go to my IG, Alex Tripod, and buy my movie. I've collapsed 10 years of my obsession around manifestation. And over $1 million in research of investing in myself into a 90-minute documentary movie. And it's pretty fucking mind-blowing. The only thing I hate about the movie now is that I'm 15 kilos heavier and I'm like, I need to make another fucking movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like me, which I think I am this year.
All right, love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, mate.